When people say they want to leave, let them go. Soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain. No genuine work of God has a vacuum. As your ministry grows, start reducing the way you give transport to people to come to church. Even some of you pastors have problem. How can somebody be choir master for 10 years? He's a fellow overseer now. A father that cannot identify with a child when he's going through trial is not a father. I can't identify with my son because he has a divorce case. Then I turn my back on him. The Bible says, no. In ministry, there are 4 categories of men every preacher will meet. 2 are dangerous. 2 are gifts. Every minister, number 1, we meet the Jacob kind of men. The Jacob kind of men, when they come to your ministry, they are multipliers. Anything you give them, they multiply it. Anything you give them, they increase it. They are assets. You give them an assignment, they think of innovation. In fact, they push your vision to the next level. You are asking, how did you come up with this? I think this will be better. They use their own resources to see that the work is going on. Laban said in Genesis 30 verse 27, he said, I have learned by experience that God has blessed me because of you. The Jacob kind of men are people, when they enter the system, they carry the work like their own. You can go to bed and sleep and know that these ones, they don't need supervision. The Jacob kind of men are men, you see. But the problem with the Jacob kind of men is that take care of them. If you can't take care of them, they will go. If you start using them, they will go. There are people that hear voices to live, not voice of God, voice of hunger. When I'm saying this, when I'm saying taking care of people, I mean those who are productive people. Not somebody just sit down, is not doing anything, is expecting much. 5 years of meat in a place. The other day, God's servant Papa Oyedik was sent out some young men and they were angry. I said, you can't raise people, you can't do anything, they should leave you. They should leave. What has the man done? It's his vision. You are not productive. He said, go. Don't be a lazy person and hide under, oh, Papa said it, they should take care of pastors. You should be productive. The Jacob kind of people are people that are multipliers. Can I surprise you? The Jacob kind of people, Jacob had access. Access. These are men that when they come into your system, they take it from point A to point B. The Jacob kind of man. I see the Lord giving you such men. You see, impact is not just being available, it's being valuable. Availability is not valuability. There are people that are available but no value. The Jacob kind of man, look at what Jacob was doing for Laban. He was increasing his flocks. They are multipliers. Number 2, the Jonah kind of man. When you have the Jonah kind of man, even the little you have gathered, you lose it. Sir, the Jonah kind of men, Jonah chapter 1 verse 4 to 6. The Jonah kind of men are people that will be in a system and they'll be causing crisis and you won't trace it to them. The wind was boisterous, Jonah was sleeping. They are there sleeping, but you don't know the danger their presence is causing. You'll be shocked to discover that the crisis you have experienced in that work is traceable to this elder you trusted, this deacon you trusted. Especially when you're in a commission where people prioritize committee over ordained ministers, over preachers of the gospel. Committee can make you commit crime, according to the Archbishop. When Jonah is in your assignment, because Jonah, something follows him. There are people you make head of department. There's something following them from home. Nothing works in their hand. Business doesn't work. School, they couldn't finish. Trade, they couldn't finish. Even department, they can't handle. The reason why God brought them, I know you say apostles, God brought them so that the power can change them. But they are too rebellious. Are you aware that even Jonah was challenging God? When Jonah is in your system, they have no respect for anybody. They will challenge the system. They will say, even this system cannot change me. When a leader says that and you hear it, he said, go, if you like, go and tell pastor. Remove that person. Are you following what I'm saying? If you like, go and tell pastor what will happen. Remove that person. Highest pastor will do is that I will leave. Please go. Go. When people say they want to leave, let them go. Soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain. People left the police force. Has it closed? People left Nigerian army. Has it closed? People left politics. Has it stopped? Go. No genuine work of God has a vacuum. Everyone that replaces who lives does better than who lives. I can talk from experience. Go. Anyone that makes people believe that you cannot call them to order should be called to order publicly. Or else you are breeding